Okay.
Okay, thanks.
It's Tom from the Customer Relations team in Melbourne. How you going?
Yes, how are you, mate?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Good.
Now, Martha escalated this call to me in regards to a few issues she's encountering. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I've read through the emails she's sent through, and I've listened to the calls, and I've tried to understand what position you're coming from, and what beliefs you have there in regards to fraudulent activity. Now, it's confusing from my end.
I know it's confusing for everyone, actually.
what you're getting at, I mean,
Yeah.
You're wanting the bill sent through.
Yep.
And you're happy to pay it, but you don't want to pay it from the name Peter Williams, because that's not your name.
No, that name that you've got is actually an account or a name of a person or a corporation. It's actually not me, the living man, if you know what I mean.
You own and operate that corporation, is that correct?
No, I don't actually. I don't own that name. That's what I'm trying to get around to you. That's owned by the Crown.
You operate under that name, is that correct?
No, I don't. Not now. I don't. I don't have a name.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have a legal name, if you know what I mean. See, all we're talking is legal, and I don't want to talk legal, or I don't want to do anything legal because it's all fraud. So I'm trying to get around this in a lawful manner and not so much a legal manner to sort this problem out.
Okay. So when you signed up for this account, you used the corporation name Peter Williams.
That's correct, but that was done unknowingly and without knowledge of what was going on since I've found out all this problem. I'm now reneging on that.
Yes, but at that time you have agreed to, under that corporation name, agreed to follow our terms and conditions of the service and operate using the name Peter Williams for the service. Pay any bills under that corporation name.
Yeah, that's correct. But it also, the other side of the thing is, it's a contract. Is that correct?
Well, the service right now, let me just check.
I've gone into a contract with you, basically.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. It's been agreed to.
Yeah, that's
under
right.
A contract.
That's right. So now I'm changing the contract. That's all I'm doing.
I see. Now, the unlawful thing here to do would be to try and negate the contract terms and agreements you've agreed to under that corporation name, Peter Williams.
Now, the contract also, at this stage, because it is fraud, now I've found out it's fraud, any contract will be null and void from that point. Also, Thomas, I need to inform you that by you trying to identify me as the Crown copyright name, you are then committing fraud yourself, and it is a criminal offence, if you can understand. So I'm just trying to help you out at this stage as well.
Okay. So in terms of payment for this, so you're happy to pay it, and you're happy to send through a payment from the bank cheque, is that correct?
A negotiable instrument, which is a promissory note, which is the same as a bank cheque. So I don't know whether, if you can get hold of someone higher up in the bank who will know about this, because it all comes under the bank charter anyway. If you're to read the bank's regulations and rules, they will state that a promissory note is a negotiable instrument, or a cheque, or money as such, what they call a currency. So it's just various ways of offsetting a debt is what it is. It's not actually paying off a debt, because a human being or a living man does not have a debt. There's no such thing, because he is not a corporation. It's only corporations that have debt.
Okay.
And this is the only way I can see you doing it. Now, the other thing I mentioned too, if we're insisting on the name, or I'm insisting that I'm not the name and I'm not the owner of the name, it's owned by the Crown because it was registered to the Crown. Anything that's registered to the Crown is their property and their ownership. So in actual fact, that bill that you're going to give me should go to the rightful owner of the name, which is the Crown. Now, that's my next little option I'm going to try. There's a lot of people doing this now, actually, because we're trying to get around this
What I'm
business.
trying to question, though, is at the time of entering this agreement, using the name Peter Williams, you're in fact, under your belief, under what you've explained to me, you've committed fraud.
Yes, unknowingly and unintentionally I've committed fraud. That's correct.
So,
but now that I know,
proceed under the name or use the corporation name Peter Williams.
Yes,
you would rather us pursue legal action against you for committing fraud.
Well, you can if you like. You can if you like, because, as I say, legal action is all going to be fraud anyway. So it's not going to do anything. And this is the point I'm trying to get across, because the whole system of legal is fraud, and it's going to have to come to a stop somewhere.
I'm sorry, but this I do understand the point you're making, but in my current understanding and knowledge of the matter,
yep,
I can't agree with you.
No, I know you can't, because you don't know the whole truth of the matter.
Yeah.
Once you learn the whole truth, I told Martha, I didn't tell, asked Martha to have a look at the history of the birth certificate. That'll give you all the clues on what's going on.
Yeah, I mean,
with this.
I've read into the email she sent, and I mean, under that, if that was to be correct and true, and actually be something that, I mean, it's very.
Can you understand that a corporation is like a business?
Correct.
Right, and it does not have any way of actually talking or breathing or having any knowledge or having any brain of any sort to do anything. It's a dead entity. That's what it is. It's a dead corporation. So I'm saying that I'm not dead. That's all. I'm a living being, and I've got a brain, and I can think for myself, and I can do for myself. And this is why I was saying that corporations. That's why you've got to turn me into a corporation to be able to do business with me. Because that's the only way it'll happen.
It can only be operated under a corporation name rather than a human's name.
Or a corporation. A corporation. Not so much a human's name. I've got a human name, but it's not what was given to you on that account.
So you've got a different name. What would your name be then? You're not your corporation name, your human name.
My human name is just Pete, or me. Is all I go under now. I don't go under Peter Williams at all, because it's fraud for me to do so.
Okay. Well,
I know it's very twisted, but that's the system.
I mean, yeah, it's something very extreme. I mean, it's something
it is.
No one in the world would follow. There's others out there. There's others.
Sorry,
out there,
what was your name? What was Thomas? Sorry, Thomas. Yeah. Look, I would urge you to look into those papers that I sent and get yourself up to speed with all this, because I'll tell you now that the first thing that's going to drop and going to go is the monetary system that we've got. It's going to have to change, otherwise the whole history of the planet is going to go haywire. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen because it's got to implode on itself sometime, because there's just too much fictional debt. It's not real debt, it's only fiction. It's all dead debt, if you know what I mean. This is what I was telling you before about, see, the actual currency that we're using, it's not money either. They call it money, but it's not money. It's a currency, and it has no value, and it is what we call dead or debt money. And I can't pay a bill with debt money. You can't pay a debt with debt. So that's why I'm paying in the lawful manner. The proper way to do it is to offset the account with my trust account money, which is set up at my birth, which is worth which is worth a lot of money. My account, I believe, at the moment is something like $5 billion in actual figures. But then again, figures are fiction as well. So it's all a nasty plan. But it's all to do to control the people. That's all it's about.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree. I mean, money's there too, or currency's there to control people, and they're held against people. And,
that's right.
I mean, but that's how our world works. I mean, there's no way. Well,
it does. It does. But it's not going to work that way for much longer. That's what I'm telling you.
In terms of all we we don't obviously we have no ability to change the way the world is, but what we need
yes, we do.
Payment.
Certainly do. We do, Thomas.
Well, I mean, I have no control over to change everyone. You know what I mean?
You've got to do your I'll say you've got to do your own thing. You've got to. Everybody's got to do some little thing. Otherwise, it's not going to change. It'll be that way all the time.
But the intention of this is obviously we're under the belief that our company needs to be paid. You're stating you're happy to pay it with a promissory note, which is basically a form of payment. So
that's right.
An agreement, it could be...
now, the other thing... sorry, mate. The other thing I might tell you too is when the birth certificate come into play, which was 1933, is the first time I've had birth certificates in that respect. Yeah. And that's when the whole monetary system started up as well, because they turned us into collateral to pay for the national debt. And that's how it all come about. And that's why they set this trust account up for us, each of us, at birth, because they actually stole all our wealth, all our money off us, and all our gold and silver went to the World Bank, and that's where it all went haywire from there. And that's when we brought in birth certificates to make us liable for every little thing that we do, every law and everything else, to pay for the national debt. Now, this is the other thing that happens also is, in actual fact, we, the people, are creditors. We are not debtors. We create money. So we create money when we go to a bank to go and get a loan, to put the money into circulation. That's what happens. And it's all done with a promissory note. That's exactly how it's done. So the promissory note becomes money. I go to the bank, I say I want $20,000 set up as a loan, and then that bit of paper that I sign is called a promissory note. It's a negotiable instrument. Yeah. Right, and that's what I'm paying with, because I can create the money out of that off my signature. So that bank loan that you go ahead and do will not do anything until you sign it. Right, that's where all the money comes from your signature. And I might say too that after the birth certificate come into play, and that from that point on, in reality, and this is reality, not fiction, in reality, we, the people, actually have paid for everything. Everything is paid for in full before we actually do anything with it. So that account that you've run up for me has actually been paid, and I'm actually paying you twice. And if I pay with debt money and you get a signature off me, or for me to sign up to an account, that is actually used on the stock exchange, and Dodo make a lot of money off my signing up with you, and also that signature if I sign anything. So, and that's why I say your signature's worth money.
So when the birth certificate came around, and I do understand that the gold is all given to the gold.
Yeah, it's all given away. It's all taken out of the country. Yeah.
But there's still people can still make payments with gold, so that negates the.
Oh yes, there's still gold around. That's right. But the actual world.
Gold is not fictional. Gold is real.
That's right. And that's why our money once was worth something, because it was backed by gold. But now it's backed by nothing. There's nothing.
I understand. How the Federal Reserve is putting itself in constant debt by borrowing money from...
Yeah, it only creates debt, that's all it does. It doesn't create money as such. Now also, I can send you some paperwork if you like, because it is actually against the law for you to actually charge me for anything. Because as I say, it was all prepaid.
But where are these funds coming from? I mean...
Well, it's from your labour. Your labour is what they're making money out of. That's what runs the country. Nothing happens without your labour.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what they've done with the birth certificate. They put
collateral. If I work here today, say for example I didn't have a job and I sat at home for 10 years, would everything I do be paid for? I don't understand.
Well, you got to think of the people as one, as a whole. not just one
A whole
person.
new way of thinking there. It's a bit...
Oh, no, that's very old. It's very old. This is how the banking system works, and this is how the bank system...
Communism operates?
Yep,
I mean, it's
all operates the
for the
same
people.
way. Yep. It's the people who are using us as collateral. That's what they're doing. I really urge you to look into it, because it's very fascinating when you get into it.
It's a bit much for me, I reckon.
I know. It'll spin you out.
I'm going to have to follow the way the world works currently.
Currently, yeah. Well, let me tell you that it's all changing.
Well, when it changes, I'm going to have to adapt. But
You will. You will.
But for the time being, I mean, it's the corporation name you used to sign up owes Dodo $530 odd.
Yep, and that's what I'm doing.
All I have to advise you is the amount will be left owing against the name Peter Williams.
That's right.
Left
That's
unpaid,
right.
it gets forwarded to their collection with the details of the provider on sign up.
Yep. I understand that. Look, I've been through this 4 or 5 times with a lot of companies in the last couple of years. Because, as I said, I haven't got any debt. There's no such thing. So, but what I'm telling you is there is change coming, and I'm just on the like many people at the moment that are doing this. We're just trying to get some changes to the banking system, because it's just so corrupt and so bad, and it's just evil, the whole thing. So it's got to come to an end somewhere.
I can agree with you in some cases, yeah. But on the other hand, I mean, obviously, I work for Dodo, and I have to advise you now.
I know you've got to follow orders. This is it, and you're actually an agent yourself. So you've got a title. What's your title in Dodo?
The customer relations rep.
Customer relations officer or something, I guess, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So once you've got a title, you become a corporation in yourself, right? So. And you're responsible for the corporation above you, which is Dodo itself, which is a corporation. And that's why they've gone right down the line to each individual human being as a corporation, because it's the only way they can do business with the debt monetary money.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and when I said to you, it's all dead, right? All corporations are dead. The whole system is dead. The legal system is dead. It's all working with death, and this is why I don't want to be a part of it, because it is all fraud. For number one, number two, it's a dead corporations, dead entities, and I'm not that. I'm living. I'm talking to you now. But this is what people are going to wake up to. Otherwise, we're going to end up in concentration camps. It'll be pretty bad. It's all control. It's all it is. It's all control of the people.
Yeah.
But there are evil people at the top, and this is what we've got to try and get around. It's just not the way it should be. That's all. But anyway, the other thing I was going to suggest, if you're not going to accept the promissory note, and a lot of my friends are doing this now with all their bills and also their birth certificates, even driver's licences, registrations, they're all going to the owners of the name.
Okay, well,
which is the Crown.
Unless it's a payment in the normal currency or fictional currency, I should say. Then,
well,
I mean, it would be left owing, and
I know.
Under your understanding, it's not against you, so then there's no worries at all with that.
That's right. But as I said, I don't really want to use it because it is fraud, and that's what I'm trying to get through to you. But I know you've got to be. You're thinking you've got to be paid to keep the company operating.
That's what I have to do my job. So
yeah, I know, I understand. But again,
this account will just be left with an owing balance, and if you have any other questions, just do contact us. But that's how it will be left unless we receive the payment that we would require.
Well, can you give me the postal address in Melbourne?
Yeah, no worries. 2 seconds.
I'll work out what I can do there.
Give me 1 minute, all right?
Yep, no worries.
Okay. Now, thanks. The address here would be...
Now, what department is that in Dodo? Is that just the...
That is for the entirety of Dodo. So you can... address whoever you would like to within that within that mail.
Yep. Okay. Alrighty.
All right.
Well, thanks,
No
Thomas.
worries, Peter. All right. Well, thanks for your time. You're good there, right, mate?
Yeah. Good. And please look into that matter, if you don't mind. See if you can get hold of that paperwork I give Martha, and
Yeah, I will. I'll ask.
and go and research. Go and research a bit more, just for your own sake.
All right. No worries, Pete.
Good on you, mate. Bye bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Yeah.